Hello everyone, this is Mr. Biggs, and today we're doing a video chart on Sthg, Stratton Holdings Inc. And this will probably be different than any other video I've ever done because this chart seems to be a little unique. First off, we'll just quickly show you the daily chart here, and you can notice it basically was trading in a channel between like 0005 and 888 for like ever. And then it made a slight move up, and then it basically traded sideways again, and then right in around here, maybe right around 03017 area, that's when it really started to bust out of the channel and start moving up. And if you can see, we've got some really nice volume last 2 days, and huge candle. I think it was up 87% yesterday, 41% today. A lot of people are talking about comparing this to CDIV. And if we look at the CDIV, and the reason they're comparing it is not because of the chart, but more because of if you've been reading any of the internet messaging board, you'll know that people are talking about a float lockdown where a large group of people have been buying up all the shares, and so there's very few shares available to be traded. And as long as everyone holds their shares, there's no where for the stock to go but up like CDIV did. So let's take a quick look at CDIV, and you'll see what happened there. It was basically about the same price, 0015, and then it shot right up, huge, shot right up to 13 cents. Had a big pullback and a little run, little drop, little run, but eventually it ended up going up to 71 cents. And you'll see all the buying was done here on the way up to 13 cents. Very little selling. It took a long time for this to progress, but I'm sure that even the people that bought at 13 cents were pretty happy if they held. And these people that bought down here are very, very happy because it went huge all the way up to 71.5 cents. But you'll see all the buying was here, and when it hit 8 cents, we had some buying, probably a lot of profit taking, and again when it started to run again, some profit taking. But there wasn't any, even on this big pullback, where it pulled back to a penny from 13 cents. There wasn't mass panic selling. People were just probably profit takers, but people weren't panicking. They didn't freak out. They knew as long as they hold their shares, it would eventually keep going up. So let's take a quick look at this area here. So if I click on this chart on CDIV, you can see it actually made a nice run right from here, right 0015. The candle got way upside the Bollinger Band, but the Bollinger Band kept following it up. And if you look at these two candles here from the breakout, and then we go back to the Sthg candle at about the same place, you'll see they're very similar. And so let's go back. So basically, the most important thing I think here was, even though RSI was way, way maxed out, pretty much 100% here, the stock still kept going. The upper Bollinger Band kept following the candles, and that's probably the most important thing. As long as that upper Bollinger, this black line here, keeps following those candles up and upward, we're golden, I think. If it turns sideways or starts to turn down, that might mean that it's going to maybe level off and consolidate or pull back a little. But as long as that Bollinger Band just keeps following the candles up and up, I think you'd be fine. So we'll go back to the and really, if I look at, you'll see it's here. It's sort of similar to with their CDIV, where they had the big candle, the big gain, and it sort of got too far above the Bollinger Band, but the Bollinger kept following, and today was another golden day. The Bollinger Band still following it upward. Had another nice day, and so this could, if you can see from the CDIV, this can definitely continue for quite a while. And this thing went crazy from 0015 all the way up to 13 cents. Now, I'm not saying Sthg is going to do that, but it definitely can. And if people hold their shares and it's locked down as much as people say it is, then if there's no one selling, the only place for it to go is up. So if you're in and you're holding your shares, it could really work out. So the daily read, other than the Bollinger Band, daily doesn't show much. So I went to this this monthly chart, because that's basically going to show us where all the resistance is. And you'll see all of the volume, like there was like no volume this whole time. This is like 7-year chart, and there's zero volume really. And you'll see all the volume has been since here. So we're above this resistance point. We want to stay above this 0078. That's going to be a great support as long as we can stay above there. It's going to be an excellent support actually because there's a lot of volume here. So that top resistance that we just broke through is going to be amazing support. And next we look at, I'm looking at, see we got some key resistance points here, but there was really no volume. So compared to the volume we're getting now, I mean, those really aren't top resistance points. The right here at 0012 would be, even though normally I don't consider spikes much as key resistance, I like candle bodies to look for resistance point. Because of the volume was in here, this probably be the last tough resistance, and I don't really expect it to be very tough at all. So 0012 would be a key to look for. After that, you're looking at prayer around I think this is 018. So between 018 and 026, you know, get above 018 and you probably cruise right up to 026, and then get above 026 and you, or actually this is 004. So between this is around 018, I think, maybe 02 to 04, make a little resistance, and then you're going to fly. Get above 004, this thing could just fly because there's nothing really to hold it back. And especially if people will hold their shares, this could, I mean, it has the potential to go to 13 or higher, just like CDIV did before a pullback. And if, as long as people are willing to hold their shares for the next few months, this thing could go really, really good. Here's a shorter term weekly, and you see, here's that 012, but you'll notice the volume, all that volume that I've shown you on this chart here, it was always after that. So all the volume is below where we are now. So if we look at this one, you'll see the volume's all been down here, and now the candle is well above that. So, you know, there's not, with this kind of volume coming in and this little volume back here as resistance, there's nothing really to hold this back. It's all the retail investor's mindset. If the retail investor is willing to hold and believes that this thing can keep going up, it will. Because as long as they don't sell, most of the float I think is locked up anyway with people that aren't willing to sell. So there might be some minor pullbacks for people taking profits or people that are happy with their gains and get out, but I don't think there'll be any heavy selling if the group that is holding all these shares does not plan to sell for quite a while, and I believe that they don't, then it's looking pretty good. I'll show you another one, like SNWT Samwest. I follow this stock all the time. I played it on and off for probably a year now, and I played it during this run. And you can see stocks can go pretty much, they can go a long time. And again, you know, the indicators were all maxed out, but the Bollinger Band kept here. The candle got well above the Bollinger Band, so it had the pullback, came back down inside, and then it just kept going up and up, and the Bollinger Band kept following it. And as long as that Bollinger Band keeps following, that's to me the most important thing in these kind of runs where the stock just keeps going up and up. The main thing for me to watch is that upper Bollinger Band. If it gets too far above the Bollinger Band, it's going to have a little correction, pull back inside, and then, you know, it can continue back. But just keep an eye on that upper Bollinger Band when you're watching the daily. So just keep an eye on this guy right here. As long as it's going to continue to follow up and track, it's always going to be behind the candle. It's never going to be up here. It's always going to be following. But as long as it's trending up and following, you're in good shape, I think. This is Mr. Biggs, and good luck trading.